There's always the Susan Polgar, Judith Starry.
connection. All right, everyone. Good evening and happy Tuesday here at the Mechanics Institute in downtown San Francisco. I'm Abel Talamantes, chess director of the Mechanics Institute. Joining me is three-time U.S. champion Grandmaster Nick DeFermian and FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. And we are here for round 5 of the 2021 March Tuesday night marathon. This is round 5 of 8. So there's still a lot of fighting chess to be had. And this is our board 1 for round 5. Grandmaster Gadir Guseynov playing white against International Master from Peru, Brian Escalante Ramirez. How's it going, guys?
Good, thank you.
It's going to be a great round tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we got some great matchups up and down the list of players. 75 players in all. This is round 5. Round 6 is going to be at 8 p.m. Pacific time. So we're going to have some fighting chess as we did last week. The games were exciting last week, and we're going to have some top matchups, top-tier matchups, rounds 5 and 6. So how does it look here for White, the tournament leader, Gadir? Co-leaders.
French defense, Nick?
Yeah, looks like a French defense, extremely complicated.
Yes.
All the lines are open. And where does that black king go? But
Right. Knight f5 is in the air, maybe.
But maybe castle's queenside.
And Gadir offered a draw.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
So maybe black is doing pretty well after castle's queenside. Maybe.
Would that be the strategy, or sort of let me rest up, and this is a player I may not want to roll the dice with?
Yeah, this is a roll the dice type of position.
If black castle's on the queen side, white has to do something. Coming up is knight g4.
Well, maybe you can just go pawn to b4, knight to g4, pawn to h3. Black may not have anything to hit at.
And as we wait to see what ends up happening in this, on board 2, we have International Master Josiah Stearman playing white against FIDE Master Kyron Griffith.
Oh, this is a great matchup.
I remember we've seen them do battle at the club in the TNM.
So Josiah's trying for something like something.
Well, that knight on f5 is the question that's hitting the bishop. Oh, he took it. Okay. Well, now after pawn to f3, he's threatening bishop f6, queen f6, knight to d7 with a fork.
Right.
It didn't work before because of queen c6. It would have been threatening mate on g2, but now it's a threat.
Black may have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Black may have to break the pin with g5. Doesn't look very, encouraging.
Yeah, maybe a little edge for white.
Okay.
And on board 3, we have National Master Mike Walder playing Grandmaster Jim Tarjan.
Oh, very interesting. This is classic rare variation, the Rui Lopez.
That is right.
And Mike Walder is a great openings expert.
He was talking about the Breyer variation in the chess cafe the other day.
He was preparing already for it. Well, he knew the
trying to get
pairing.
us
He knew the pairing already.
He was trying to get us to help him prepare, but I had no ideas at all, of course, in the
And
opening.
how does this look? Does this look like prepped up white? Or
This has been played before. You know, maybe white has a small edge, but just lots of play in this position. You know, you can't win it right out of the opening, so it's going to be a long strategic battle. And of course, Tarjan's very good if you give him a position he can play.
And then on board 4, we have David Askin, who's he can be a pretty tough out for a lot of players. He's pretty solid playing white against FIDE Master Eric Lee.
Now, this is probably some book position that I'm not familiar with, of course.
Well, David Askin's used a lot of time, so
Yeah. I would probably proceed conservatively here with Bishop E2 or something if I was white.
you can't really hit him, you know, like with pawn to B3 because Bishop B4 check causes a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So Bishop E2, but knight to D7, trying to raid off that active knight on E5.
And guys, look at this position out of the Arthur Liu Elliot Winslow match on board 5.
International Master Elliot Winslow. Oh, this is that old variation of the dragon, right, Nick?
Yes, an exchange sacrifice.
Yep.
Now, is this an exchange and 2-pawn sacrifice? It takes on E4?
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
back to move.
3, 4, 5. An exchange and a pawn.
Oh, okay.
Well, Rook B8 is a big threat. I suppose. Queen,
Strange. Elliot went into this and he used time on his clock.
Yeah, Elliot's, Elliot's been going in for riskier and riskier and riskier variations as the time goes on. Nick, I think we should take him, you know, I'm getting stodgier and more boring, and Nick and
He's getting
but
emboldened.
Elliot's just getting wilder, and I think it's the influence of Michael Walder.
Yes.
They're roommates, and they're always trying to outdo each other with some latest, latest and greatest.
No, but White's able to go pawn to C3. I don't. There.
And then if Black takes on F3, I see what you're saying. There's no definite. There's nothing definite. White has to repel the attack, give back the exchange for one of the bishops.
All kinds of stuff going on there.
I like simplifying things as much as possible.
And jumping back to board 1, Brian Escalante is like spending a lot of time. He still has not moved. The draw offers is still there. So
he'll wait until there's 30 seconds left on the clock, and then he'll accept the draw.
So like at this point, that player can say, I can sit here and really calculate as deep as I want to, and if I just don't see it, I just take the draw, right?
I mean, what do you think, Nick? Is there some kind of like some kind of psychology going into play here? Is black more likely to blunder after refusing the draw after thinking all this time?
Because the thing too is, if he chooses to continue, he's got under 20 minutes.
Yeah. I predict he'll take the draw. He might think a few more minutes, 5 more minutes or something. Oh no!
He moved.
And he played knight g4 before castling on the queen side.
Well, he is courageous.
Yeah? That's got to be disappointing for Gadir.
Oh, I'm not sure. It's I'm wondering. You say you play pawn to h3. Is there any shot for black? Because otherwise, white's just happy.
I mean, isn't it a? I was just looking. If like h3, can you take on f2 and then something with g3 or something or rook?
Oh, okay. That's some action move. Take on f2.
I was just looking at bishop h2 check.
Maybe bishop e7, so the queen can get in there to h2.
Oh, nice move, Nick.
And if queen to
g3,
e3, you can trade the queens and go bishop to c5. Oh, that's what he's doing.
And he played it right away. So this is what he sat thinking about.
Right. And he's got an automatic draw too after queen g3, bishop d6. And so, wow, Gadir is letting the queen come into h2.
Okay. All right. Yes, that's... Wow. The other line was not good for him. But this...
Yeah.
You keep your pawn structure intact.
Dramatic finale here.
Action chess from the top of the board at the TNM.
It seems that black should have something here, but who knows?
Well, black's got weaknesses too. If you trade the bishops, g7 is hanging. You can't castle.
Right.
On to f6 seems funny.
Maybe black underestimated this move or something?
Yes. Because the white king actually looks pretty safe.
Amazing.
Wow.
I suppose black could bail out by playing knight f6 here, maybe. But then knight f5, well, then knight f5 might be speculative.
You've lost, a couple tempi.
Steam, yeah, you've lost steam. Not good.
We'll keep an eye on what happens here. Let's check in on Stearman Griffith. There have been exchanges.
Wow.
Bishops of opposite color.
Yeah.
Josiah wants a mating attack here.
Yeah, the bishop, the diagonal's looking good.
It would be good for white. Even if he would lose that c pawn, got a pass d pawn, safer king. You just go queen to b3.
And checking in real quick on that Elliot Winslow game. And
Some good games this round.
Arthur Liu, yeah.
H4 is just saying to black, you have nothing, huh?
So it's it's down to even pawns.
Yeah.
Elliot's won a couple of pawns.
It's just
Little
a
hard.
straight exchange up right now.
Wait a minute, bishop f8. Wins on the spot.
So bishop f8, rook g1, just queen takes g1.
Well, I guess white has to play b4, but then that doesn't look very good. I mean,
Doesn't feel right.
yeah,
Doesn't feel right.
it's a hard move to miss. Bishop f8. It directly attacks the queen.
Bishop f8, pawn to b4, pawn to a5, because if queen takes a5, rook a1 may be good.
Yeah, you might even be able to. Yeah. I mean, bishop f8, just like that. You're. I don't think white wants to play b4 here. You know.
And there it is.
Yuck.
But that's the only move, right?
Well, like Nick says, if you put one of the rooks on g1, black can just take it.
Well, that would be an even endgame.
That's right, because queen
Queen
f8.
takes.
So maybe white can try that. Although the black queen could still stay on the 7th rank or maybe move to another square.
Oh.
Yes. He could play queen to f2 and then rook to f1 and then maybe queen to b6. And you still can't stay on b2. You'd have to go pawn to b4 and pawn to a5 really just it up.
Couldn't white play rook to d2 after queen b6?
Oh, sorry, queen to f2, rook to f1, queen to b6. Queen on a3 is hanging, so.
Oh, yeah. What am I talking
On
about?
the b.
Oh, details, right, Abel?
Yeah.
Just a random queen hanging.
Yeah,
No problem.
that matters. That's part of the calculation. And a move has not been played by Brian Escalante in his game. He's down to under 13 minutes in his
I
game.
think he wishes he had taken the draw now.
Yeah, he's still thinking about it there. Let's do a quick check on Mike Walder's game. With
Grandmasters are tricky. Gosh.
Yeah, it's
What's with that?
you just don't give it up.
Oh my gosh. A peace sacrifice.
But
I don't believe it. Is black so tied up that he has no defense here to b4 or something?
well, he could go knight to e6 right now.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Mike, what was this?
Yeah, it's a very odd peace sac. I guess.
Oh, nice one, 96. Yeah. You think that might have been missed? 96?
Well, I think
Mike likes these tactical solutions. He
96 might be the only move. Oh, I mean, I guess he could play one of the rooks to c8 first, and then after b4, then play 96. So, but black is, white's going to have a little bit of an initiative, and then black's going to consolidate. So Tarzan thinks this is better. If white moves his queen, black can move the knight at d7 and then move the other knight back to d7 after its attack. Oh, white's got some initiative for a while.
It's some nice pawns on the queen side, but black should be better.
Yeah.
And Escalante, 10 minutes, 30 seconds on his clock. Let's take a quick look at David Askin and Eric Lee's game.
Thanks everybody who's watching for watching.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening from San Francisco.
Wow. Black has built up a what looks like a crushing kind of position here, although everything is hanging. Who knows? Well, coming up is knight e2 and bishop d3, I suppose, or something like that. Queen c3. Maybe it's nothing. Well, I mean, black is up 2 pawns.
Yeah. And
Bad for David. Bad for David.
going back to Elliot Winslow and Arthur Liu.
So Elliot went right back to b7.
Yeah, look at those bishops, though. Wow.
Should white have played rook d2 instead of? Oh, he had to play b4. a5. Great move. Elliot Winslow is like the new Mikhail Tal or something at the club. Yeah.
And a move was played on board 1, so let's take a look at that. Brian Escalante played f6, and now Gadir has gone bishop g6 check.
So who's attacking who here, Nick?
Well, you know, somehow I would guess white is better.
Black has to take that way, and now just queen h3. Yeah. Wow, black just kind of, his position kind of fell apart or something, or is in danger of falling apart.
Like, is there anything active that can be done, like, you know, queen f4 or something?
I mean, black's going to have this problem, even if it's bishops of opposite colors, of getting his rook it. Well, I don't know.
You know, black's forces are kind of split too,
Yeah.
due to the king.
This was interesting, an interesting draw for him. Black must have really played it wrong here.
Black went for it. Just it seems Gadir was just as deep in the calculation as Brian Escalante was.
That's true.
And now he's
Right.
having to play fast, right? He's got 9 minutes, 11 seconds to 28 for Gadir.
So what, just rook d1 here, Nick?
Or even just c3, trying to win the pawn on h5.
Right.
Looks like you win a pawn. Oh, he did rook d1. Okay.
He's just going for the attack now. I have a feeling black's not going to survive this.
Play bishop f6. Maybe then c3. Yeah, it's certainly bad for black, but we'll see if Escalante can conjure up some threat.
Back checking in on Mike Walder and Jim Tarjan.
Those are very nice pawns that white
They're
has.
beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. I mean, black black has hardly a square to put a minor piece on. This is a kind of an interesting positional sacrifice.
And we have one quick win here. It looks like Austin Mai has beaten Kalen Melville, but what happened here? Went there. Yeah, look at that. And then resignation after that move.
Bishop d4 is not very.
Just
And he resigned after that?
resigned right there. Yeah.
Wow.
It was probably more dispirited than, actually, but, of course the position looks bad, but down 2 pawns and just doesn't look good at all.
Yeah. Terrible. Play that.
So checking back on Kyron Griffith's game and Stearman.
Well, Josiah, of course, sacrificed something. He just has to have action.
But did he get something for it? I'm imagining he's looking at things like Rook e7, and that's going to lead to anything.
Rook e7, where does the king go? Maybe even to g6 and pawn to d6. He's got something, but black's got the lights.
And let's go back to board 1 because Escalante is going to be under 6 minutes, and we should probably stay here because I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of action happening soon. It looks like he's really activating the full arsenal of his pieces here.
Oh, such a move by Gadier. Bishop to f5, just hitting on those light squares.
Yeah, I think black is probably just hastening his own demise here. Yeah.
He probably has to take the knight, but then bishop take e7.
He's playing without the rook on h8. I mean, for a while anyway.
Still terrible.
Bishop f5, knight f5, bishop f6. You're just playing without the rook on h8. So black, okay, bishop c5. And now what? Yeah, because you've got queen f3 check. Well, then queen f6, huh? Well, white can.
Does that threat on f2 give black enough time to play something like rook d8?
Well, rook h6 looks like the move that black wants to play if given a half a chance.
Yeah.
What's the tactic here, Nick? Queen f3, queen f6. Is there a tactic?
It's that was a good move, bishop to c5.
There's also queen a3 check, like rook d4 and queen a3 check.
It's certainly bad, but I don't see a knockout here.
Yeah, yeah. And neither did Gadir.
Typical Gadir, just a calm move, really good position. Your opponent's low on time.
And now black probably has to continue to play. Rook h6 just has got to be the move here. to play rook f6 or something.
And then it also threatens you can take the pawn and open up that file.
Of course, white's going to play c3. I guess maybe there's no time. Black has to keep attacking things.
And rook d8 played.
C3 is going to be. Oh, that's a nasty little move, right? Because if bishop moves, bishop takes f2 check.
Ah. And if pawn takes h5, do we still have something like queen c7 on the bishop? Ooh, no. Then queen f5 check. Pawn takes h5 looks like a mean move.
And look at that time, 25 minutes to 4 and change.
This is a tough one. You're right. Taking on h5 looks like the move. Is there something that black has there, like g4 or maybe king e7?
King e7 and...
Oh, he plays c3. Simple. Again, we've got the simple chess guy, Gadir. There's something about his play that is so practical and feet on the ground all the time. Black is almost out of the woods.
Well, okay, it's
almost.
And Austin, yes, we saw your win. Congrats to Austin Mai, who's in the chat.
Perhaps with a few, perfect moves here, black could consolidate.
Well, it's looking like those white rooks are going to crash through.
What about pawn to e4?
Can you even just take it?
Yeah, well, true, but at least you get rid of one of the rooks.
Okay. And
but that's not that that's any good. Yeah.
We could try that. Pawn to e4, rook takes e4, and white's threatening something like queen to f3 check, queen to a3.
And what about rook h6, rook e5, king g8?
Okay, that's an inspired defense.
If rook e8, king h7.
Yeah, pawn takes h5, and you're
Austin's also
hanging on.
rook h6. He's saying
Titan chess 666.
That's like chess monster 666. So he's saying rook h6. He's saying rook e8 check, king h7. It's safe, and black's about
turns
to
the
turn
table.
gx h5, g4.
Well, I'm not sure that's quite turning the table. It's still trying to hang on. It's a good try.
Hang on to the table.
Hang on to the table.
He's trying to hang on to the table.
Turn the table.
Yeah, that Escalante should have taken the draw.
And they're like other games, but it's like Escalante at minute 43 is like we don't want to pull away from it.
Rook g4.
Courageous, but after rook e5, what do you do? Because king to g8, I don't think works. Rook e8 check, king h7, queen d3 check,
Yeah.
and there's no good response.
And
What about rook h6? And he
There we
played it.
go.
Yeah.
There we
So
go.
black is,
and
if black doesn't get murdered on one of the diagonals,
And-
he can give up his queen for 2 rooks or something.
and Judith's in the chat. You know what they say? Copying is the greatest way of admiration, or the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Right.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Wow, queen d3 is on the board. Now you
Doesn't look like black should be able to survive this.
rook d6.
Rook d6, probably queen h7, sneaking in.
And rook f6 allows mate in 2 with rook e8 check. And then the other rook, you self-block, but black is in trouble here.
38
Queen
seconds.
d4? Queen d4? What about queen d4?
He's got to try something like that.
But then queen f5 check. And if rook f6, it's mate in 2 again with rook e8 check. I guess that it's blocking, the rook on f6 is going to block him. Rook f4.
Oh my.
It's like who's gonna
Nah,
hit?
this can't work, huh?
Well, the nice thing is you're threatening queen f2 and rook h4. So you might get a
Yeah, Jiro will overlook it.
maybe a terrible blunder.
Maybe he'll misuse his 24 minutes on his clock.
Oh, I think rook e8 check, king f7, rook, and then queen to d5 check, and you win the black queen with a rook e8 check.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And Gadir doesn't see it. Huh.
Either that or he's torturing him.
But Brian played that pretty quick.
Oh, if queen h7, now maybe there's rook to d1 check.
Gadir is playing a little bit funny here. But black has just got no time.
Yeah, it seemed like he's almost getting out of this.
Rook c5, rook d1 check, huh?
Oh,
Oh, nice. Is that going to work?
Or queen c5? No, didn't work. Queen d8 check. Black king can run to g6.
It's entertainment in the finish. He survived this long.
Oh, it's mate, right? Queen d8, king f7, queen e8. King f6, queen e6 mate.
very nice. Yeah, and Titan Chess called it also in the chat. He's like, "What a cool move! Boom!" And he's like, "Wait, it's mate in 2." Nice win by Gadir, and
Yeah.
Very entertaining chess.
great game there. Going back, Stearman and Griffith. That was not the only game going on in the Tuesday Night Marathon.
Wow, look at this bishop f8 check move.
Now, even if you take it, you're okay. It's
Yeah.
Queen 6, king g7. Black is not worst.
Can bail out with the with the rook down to c1 at the end.
King takes f6, queen takes f8, queen takes f6.
I think this, if black's king is safe, this could be, well,
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
yeah. If I'm white, I think I'm maybe going to try to hope for a draw here. Bishop h6, that's ridiculous. Rook c1. Rook c1 is a threat.
Probably bishop e7. We have rook to c6. So,
Queen b1. And Kyron played queen f5 quick.
Yeah. And now what? Queen b8. I mean, is white really going to be able to get something going here? They're going to call it a draw after takes, mistakes. Actually, white could lose his bishop on h6, right? Queen f5, king f5, bishop h6, rook f7. Maybe not.
probably just
Rook e8, yeah. Or something.
Hey, let me do a check-in on the Elliot Winslow, because
his opponent's still alive?
still alive. Alive and
Amazing.
well. Alive and well.
Yes. I suppose. Complicated game.
Yeah. And Elliot down to 6.5 minutes. And
Rook a8.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering rook to a8, bishop to e4, bishop to f5, pinning that bishop.
Then queen takes f5.
Queen takes f5, rook to 8, check. King maybe b1. Queen takes c3, threatens the queen on f5. It's that's quite a mess. Might work for black.
Rook a8. So bishop e4, bishop f5, queen f5.
Oh, then just queen to a4 check.
Oh, right. Yep.
Simpler. So bishop e4 doesn't work. Oh, this looks like an attack.
Elliot on the attack.
There.
And maybe just winning.
Yeah, if you can play rook a2 and queen takes c3, black is in the driver's seat there.
What if white plays queen b5?
Same thing, rook a2 check, and then queen takes c3.
Oh, yeah, the c3 take.
See anything, Nick?
No, I guess it looked like white had the extra exchange, and then suddenly, boom, he's lost. Wiley Winslow.
Yeah.
Checking in on
Playing like a young genius.
Mike Walder's game with Jim Tarjan.
Somehow that heated up. Gave back the exchange. Black's got squares for the minor pieces.
So maybe b5. Black. Can white gang up on the c pawn? Maybe it's better to just play b5. Open. I don't know. Michael's just gonna go for it here. He's saying, I'm just going to take your c pawn at c5 with my pawn.
And what are you going to do about it?
And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Let me jump back to Josiah Stearman and Kyron Griffith.
Oh, I love this because
great. Is Black threatening Rook G2 and Queen G4 or something?
It's almost
maybe.
That Queen on B6 helps a little with the defense, but suddenly Black has the attack.
So let's just speculate. A4, just for fun, all right? Rook G2 check, King G2, Queen G4.
King to F1.
Oh, King to F1. I could still throw in Queen H3 check.
And maybe I run with King to E2.
Ah, yes. It's funny. King to F1.
It's a lot of
Bishop C4 check. I want to sack a rook, Alexei. I want to sack. Actually, I want to sack Kyron's rook.
I was gonna say, especially one that's not yours. Just want to sack other people's rooks.
I mean, there is a threat also of like bishop takes F3, pawn takes F3, Queen H3.
Yes.
A smaller sack, but yours is a lot more fun.
And maybe even just pawn to G4 is a threat. You know, they used to say at the mechanics, open them up like a can of tomatoes. I think that was one of the old sayings at the mechanics. It should be enshrined in a.
I mean, you just said it. So it's
a plaque above the door. You know, you who walk in here should try to open up your opponent like a can of tomatoes.
Ye who enters should open up.
Right, yeah. All ye who enter here, you know. Prepare to open thy opponent like a can of tomatoes.
People got to think it was established in, 1564.
Oh, well, this looks like then Kyron is winning the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like white is in trouble here. These compact positions are lovely to play sometimes. And look at the time difference too.
Yeah, I mean, Kyron's got the time if he needs it, if he really needs to sit and calculate something.
Okay, a nice calm move.
Overprotecting F3.
Stop the sacrifices. But you can't just take on A2. You've got the extra pawn, more time on the clock.
Yep.
I guess that's no.
And Eric Lee has won his game against David Askin. Pranav Siram defeated Tom Mazur. And Jeffrey Wang beat Cal McCarty-Sneed in other games. Audie, hey, how's it going?
H5 here or G4 even? Is it time for black to do something like that.
Now, Paul, you know Gadir would just take that A pawn.
Yeah, but that's
Practical chess.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, check this position now, just because you have to like look at this. This is Sacrifice and Crush Sauce Jacobian against Sebi Suarez. Oh, yep, that is it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Sacrificing Crush is living up to his name.
Nice win by
Oh,
Sauce.
Can we go back to the Josiah game for a second?
Yep.
Can Black play Bishop F3?
and Rook F3.
And then Rook C1. Oh, I'm sorry, Rook F3, yeah. And then, I was thinking of something.
And Christian Clemens is saying
wrong.
Christian's asking if G4 can be tried here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Rook A2. I'm looking at I'm hallucinating some variations here.
I mean, maybe there's a win for Black. It's complicated, but it can also go a bit wrong because give White a move. White can go Queen A7, cause you some trouble, threatening Queen G7.
Okay, yeah. So Rook A2. And now Queen C7 ties Black up a little bit, I suppose.
And that was what Christian said. Rook A2, and then with Queen C2 coming.
Well, White's got time. Both players are trying to mate each other.
What's the play here? Like Bishop F7 or?
Yeah, just good defensive move.
Yeah. Queen C2, Queen G7 check, and White can play Queen H7 check as well.
And you did type that before I said it, but I said it not looking at the Twitch chat. So we're going to pat each other on the back for well done.
So my guess is somehow the queens will come off, and then Kyron will play on for another 25, 35, 45 moves, and then they'll agree to a draw. What do you think, Nick?
It just feels like Black can push, right?
Yeah, if you can stay in the middle game, Black's got good chances.
Because it just feels like White's rook is passive here, and the king's like nice tucked away over there.
H5 and G4.
And Mike Walder and Jim Tarjan have drawn their game.
Wow.
Why?
And
Good result. Mike has drawn the Grandmasters lately. I'm going to put on the overhead light in my, or another light in here.
And let's check real quick on Elliot Winslow's game here. He did end up converting an advantage there.
Oh, he won the queen somehow.
So now 2 rooks against a queen and a bishop.
Yeah, this is still looking a little tough.
But back to this game we're following with Stearman and Kyron Griffith.
And of course, Stearman is somehow playing for the attack. Trying to tie Black down to the defense of the F6 square. Maybe. Or just playing a move because he has to. Maybe white's maxed out with his forces and black is as well.
Queen e6 is good. If queen d6, you get a check. Queen e3 check.
And then you can cover with bishop e6.
Yeah, you try to stay in the middle game.
Yeah. Alexei's queen e2.
And Josiah's under a minute. Kyron has what, two IM norms?
Yeah, he played at Charlotte this past weekend, trying to get that third one. Came up a little short, but he's trying. He's trying to get that third one.
Queen e2, bishop f2, bishop c4.
Oh yeah, it's looking bad.
That just wins.
Well, rook f2.
Rook f2, rook a1.
Oh yes.
I think
very good.
I think that's it. Wow. Dramatic finish here.
Wow.
That's it. There's no defense.
And if yeah, plays it right away. And Kyron Griffith gets it done.
Wow.
And with that win, Stearman was another undefeated player. So Gadir remains the only undefeated, undraw. He's the one with 5 out of 5, the sole player with 5 out of 5 in this tournament.
Has he played Kyron yet?
He has not.
And Kyron will be looking for revenge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Brian and Gadir, Alexei, played an action match, but Gadir got the better of him. Yep. Escalante lost to Gadir Busan.
And he refused to draw against Gadir.
He refused to draw on like move 12, and then Gadir made him pay for it. But it was an action match though. It was exciting to watch. This game's over here. Elliot Winslow and Arthur Liu. He got it.
Oh wow! Won both the rooks.
Won everything.
Amazing.
Took everything. Here's another match that we have not looked at yet. This is Chelsea. Chelsea Zhu against Nicholas Wang.
Okay.
Two bishops.
Looks like black is better. Maybe better structure.
Yeah, more solid structure.
And another game that is still going. And Stearman's in the chat saying he botched the endgame so bad.
Mike Walder agrees.
And Mike Walder is saying that he worked that sack with Theo Biasis. That sack that he did against Tarzan.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, well, very nice.
And
Yeah.
Kyron 14 Rabbits in the chat chatting with Josiah on the game.
Ooh, D5 is a nice shot.
E5 is a great move. Yeah.
Chelsea 26 seconds left.
Want to take
I would
on
have taken on
D5
D5
first.
Yeah, you and I are saying the same thing.
It's now Queen C3, maybe. although that looks like a draw.
Yeah.
Well, black's going to have trouble holding on to the pawn. You know. Still, maybe.
Maybe queen d6 if you want to play for a win. Got more time.
And
Queen d7, I guess, is the same idea.
Yeah.
And now white can just play queen takes a7 and nothing much, right? Queen a7, I would do it, I think. Maybe black is still...
Quickly, he does it.
And black has some kind of small positional advantage after queen d5, but it looks risky. Maybe knight c3 and go for it. Bishop b7 and then come down queen d2 and knight e2. Now, white can interpose the queen too.
Yeah, that doesn't objectively work. It's tricky. He tries it with seconds, his opponent, seconds left.
Queen, yeah. This doesn't work for black. Queen f2. Oh,
he missed that.
Yeah. Oh, don't agree to it. Oh, black's playing for a win here, huh?
But now the queen's bad on h6.
Draw.
Oh,
okay.
White should have played queen f2 there.
Yeah.
But
the time pressure, and here's another game with time pressure. Alan Finkelstein and Ken Fong.
That was a tough little game. Ooh.
Kyron in the chat. Apparently our last 4 moves were all blunders. Oh.
White trades rooks, huh? So is this a win for white? Should be a win for white, right?
With the pawns so separated. Except, that is the wrong color rook pawn. But just chill out. You could get that black king to f6, but
you can play h3 and g4, right? And then play h4.
Well, the white king should just head for the
there you go. Head for the b8 square. That's a lot simpler than what I was suggesting.
I think he could have drawn it, but he was too low on time.
Huh.
Too late to get the king in.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Certainly looks like he knows what's up here.
Who is Chess Appeals again? We know Chess Appeals.
Yeah, that's Kevin Fong.
Right. Is there any pitfall for white here, apart from stalemating black?
He gave up.
And David Rakonitz gets a win here.
See, I love we get to see our club players after.
He's got a nice little fork there.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Being up a rook already helped as well.
Yeah, that's, helps things along. I believe that's all the games for the round. That is a wrap. Round 5 is in the books, and the one thing we do know is Gadir Guseyanov is 5 out of 5, and he is the only one And
Who can stop him?
who can stop him? I think looking at the scores, looks like Kyron Griffith's going to be his next opponent because he is the only one with 4.5.
And he'll be white, thirsting for revenge.
That's right.
Stay tuned, folks.
That's right. And then
We'll be back in 15 minutes with round 6.
Stearman and Escalante will be at 4. Mike Walder at 4. Tarjan 3.5. Eric Lee will be at 4.
Wait a minute. Where's Winslow?
4. He'll be at 4 also. So a lot of action coming, and pairings probably be up in about 5 minutes. Standings updated, and then 8 p.m. we kick off the round. So if you guys need a little drink of something, now is the time.
How about you, Abel? You want to go first?
Yeah, let me get something to drink real quick, and then I'll be right back. And Alexi is excited. Woohoo! Round 6. I'll be right back.
Well, Alexi has to play next time.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite a game from Elliot, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, you got to hand it to the players just for showing up and playing, and it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, well, it's I admire Elliot. I mean, it's not just he would tend to get some boring position, try to grind it out against these young players, but Elliot just goes for the gusto, sacrifice pieces all over the board.
And look at this preparation by Michael Walder. I mean, that is extraordinary. A piece sack on the 15th move, the Briar variation or something like that was all planned out and studied beforehand in preparation.
Yeah, looks like the final position was good for Mike. I thought 2 pawns and a rook for the 2 pieces.
Yeah. Michael Walder has been very successful against these grandmasters. More so, actually, than some of these other players. And a lot of it's due to his opening prep, I think. I mean, he's drawn Gadir twice. Not many people have done that. I don't think nobody's done that so far in this tournament. Since Gadir has been playing at the mechanics.
Well, Brian could have just taken that call, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. So he thought for 10 minutes, thinking how to play for a win with black, and courageously declined, but that was just a mistake.
Well, I'm waiting for Michael Walder to win this tournament once. Soon enough. No, Brian Escalante has not drawn him twice in this tournament. But Brian Escalante refused a draw and courageously played for a win. And then lost a nice game. Does this make you want to play in this tournament, Nick?
Oh, it's more fun watching. But I'm going to take a quick break now.
Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
And me too. I'll be back.
Yeah. And let's see if any updates to the page. We should have the updated standings up pretty soon. And one thing we want to plug while we got a little bit of time as everything gets uploaded, we just finished the San Francisco Scholastic Championship this past Saturday. It's our annual event. Usually, it's always free for the kids. Usually, it's held in Golden Gate Park. But obviously, that's something we couldn't do. We couldn't do it last year, and he took a timely break. I must have missed that. I missed something. Um, but we did it online this year, and we had a record turnout of 341 kids play. We had non-rated grade level sections on Chess Kid, and then we had 3 USCF rated sections on chess.com. We actually had over 200 players in the rated section, which was amazing to see. All the kids on Zoom. It was a lot of fun. Great turnout. It was everything was just smooth, and so that was a great free event for the kids. The week before, we had another free event for the kids with the Thompson Family Foundation. But we have another big Scholastic event, April 10th through the 11th. It's the 2021 U.S. Junior Chess Congress. It's a USCF National Championship event. And if you're one of the strong Scholastic players playing in this TNM, you want to get in on that action. If you want to see the entries, you can go here. I'm going to put it in the chat. We already have 338 registered for the U.S. Junior Chess Congress. So if you're listening to this, you're a Scholastic player, you definitely want to play in it. We're organizing it, the Mechanics Institute, with Chess Weekend, Glenn Panner and Merritt Thorpe in Chicago. So it's going to be a great event. So check that event out. Keeping an eye on the updated standings and pairings, and the standings are updated, and might as well, why not, might as well put it up, right? So the standings are up, and let's see, do we see that? Yep. Let me open the window so we can see the whole thing. Gadir Gusayanov is in control right here. There you see it. You'll see it soon. He is 5 out of 5. Kyron Griffith, sole second place with 4.5. And Brian Escalante, Josiah Stearman, Eric Lee, Elliot Winslow. A lot of players. Pranav Siram, Mike Walder, Max Gridajlovic, Austin Mai, all with 4. So, and this is going to be round 6 of 8. 6 of 8. So we got 2 more games next week. So there's going to be a lot of top level talent playing each other. Scrolling down, let's see the pairings for the next round. And we do have Kyron Griffith on board 1 playing Gadir Gusayanov. There it is right there. So you could see it all. Brian Escalante playing white on board 2 against Austin Mai. Max Gedajlovic against Josiah Stearman. Pranav Siram, Eric Lee. And we have Elliot Winslow and Mike Walder playing for the 975th time. Jim Tarjan against Vedant Tallwalker. And there's the rest of the pairings right down the line. Yeah, they cannot catch a break. Walder and Winslow, they're like destined to play each other always. So, but there we have the pairings for the round, and we should have a great game on board 1. I know Kyron's looking to get a little bit of revenge on Gadir. Austin Mai, Brian Escalante, that should be good, as will board 3. And board 4 should be a good matchup. Let's see what kind of a matchup Winslow and Walder give us. Although they play pretty sharp games, even though we think they'd be taking it easy on each other. They do seem to play to win. Would you agree, Nick?
Yes,
Elliot's
yes.
facing Walder for the.
I would expect, yes, I would think they'd make a draw, but they love to play sharp chess. They battle each other.
Yeah, they're like lovers of chess, so they want to see some action at the end of the day, right?
Austin Mize on board
Two against Brian Escalante. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be some good matches, and Austin Mai is no joke. He can play. He seems like he plays slightly better chess when he's matched up in a blitz game, because he used to come and play our rapids when we used to have Saturday rapids, and he likes playing our blitz events. Loves his blitz chess, but his chess is strong and is probably master strength, so it'll be a good match on board 2. And round will start in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Can anybody stop the Gadir steamroller?
That's going to be a tough one. I mean, Kyron, probably is the best chance. But perhaps Josiah gets paired against him. That could be pretty interesting, but that wouldn't happen until next week. Outside of that, it seems like who I would enjoy seeing, just what would come of it is I would love to see Eric Lee play Gadir. Just seeing that matchup. Mike Walder seems like his prep can hang with Gadir on Mike's best day. So.
Oh yes.
And this is the thing. It's like we still got 2 rounds next week. Like we're not even done. We got 2 more games. So whatever happens here, you got 3 more people coming at Gadir between tonight and next week. So it'll be interesting. But
maybe Sacrifice and Crush will play. Gadir.
Yeah, maybe he'll live up to his name. Speaking of which, I remember one time, speaking of Sacrifice and Crush, I saw him launch an all-out assault one time against Ezra Chambers at the club, and he won. And so you never know. You just never know what's going to happen.
Elliot's impressed by my analysis.
Paul eats a lot of beans just to keep his quote-unquote analysis going. Oh, Lenderman, if Lenderman was here, that would be a fantastic match. Lenderman, Gadir. They've done it before.
Oh, yeah.
Gadir got the last one. He won.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was close. They were in an end game, but Gadir took it.
Yeah, Lenderman, one of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
Well, Gadir is particularly good at rapid play, right? And fast play.
Yeah, he seems like the time control is up his alley. Let me close off the games because we should be starting any minute now.
So, anybody with 4.5?
One player, Kyron Griffith.
Okay.
Big
So
time.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And Judith's ready to start entering the match commands. It should be happening any minute now, as Judith would say, T-1 probably. And it is up. We are up and running. And here we are at board 1. Kyron Griffith and Gadir Gusanov. Kyron with E4.
All right, so everybody's heard my advice. Take off Gusanev's knights, and you're fine.
He does the most damage with the dancing knights around her.
With the donkeys, yeah. Take away his donkeys
Dance.
and
Dancing donkeys.
here we go. Look at that, he did it. He's taking
took
away
a
his
knight.
donkeys.
He's halfway to victory. And
Halfway to
Alexi's
victory.
like one end gone.
And chase the other one. Right.
I mean, it would be worth the exchange sack just to get that knight out. Huh?
Oh, now, I remember Kyron knows this opening well. It's of course.
I
if
think,
you're-
have they played this before, these guys?
Wow, look at that.
Pawn sack. Do you know this? Do you know this, Nick?
Only that I've seen Kyron play it before.
Knight h6.
Huh.
Just
Hey, we got developments in the Elliot Winslow game.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, here we go. You ready? There it is.
Winslow,
Knight f3.
Walter, oh no.
Knight f3 is on the board.
Oh, avoiding Michael Walder's preparation.
Right. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
All right, back where the action's at. Here we go. And you know, Kyron had to have prepared.
F6, huh? After rook e1, bishop takes, pawn takes. Have these guys played this position before?
That
There's
I
one
don't-
they're
game
both
that-
whipping out the moves.
Yeah, there was one game that they had that somewhat resembled this. Starting to take the other knight. Watch out.
I think that donkey's going to move. Knight f5 is a great square for it.
What does White have planned?
Yeah, I mean, you need to get something because those are center pawns. So
Right.
if
You're
black,
looking for a quick knockout, right? Where is it?
and if that pawn comes to d6, all those pawns are holding squares. But Kyron knows this, so
Yeah, or we think he does. Certainly moving fast enough. What's the continuation? Just playing in the middle of the board.
Whatever it is, it's got to be worth a pawn, right?
yeah. But you know, maybe black just plays pawn to d6. What are you going to do if you know you've got everything developed, but I'm all dressed up? But where do you go? Oh, okay.
He wants to play f4.
So he's still in his preparation. King to h1. Oh, I admire this. It's just calm chess after the pawn sacrifice. This is a way you could beat Gadir with such, sharp opening preparation.
We've also seen Gadir defend some pretty nice positions as well.
And it seems when he wins his games, particularly against like the top level opponents, he's the one that has like the great development, right? The great piece development. And maybe here, with Kyron having, castled 2 rooks out, maybe it provides something a little different, like a.
He's a good defender too, though. We've seen that, Queen c5 maybe, of course, that opens you up to knight e4 later, maybe. So bishop a6 first.
Bishop e6 or what?
I guess, or bishop b3. Yeah, bishop e6, but then knight d4.
Yeah.
Maybe just bishop to b3.
And if knight d4, you go a4, f4.
What about white's knight down the road, e4 and g5?
I like your way of thinking. Of course, you got to watch out that the queens don't get exchanged while you're pawn down.
Right.
But yeah, Nick, you're right. Bishop b3, and if knight d4, f4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Gadir know that it's 8 rounds?
Can't know for sure. I mean, I think so, especially with all the follow-up emails that he receives from
I
us.
see. Right, yeah.
So
He's quite far away. It's amazing.
yeah, that would be bad, right? If he takes a draw thinking he's locked up the tournament, and then hey, you got 2 more rounds next week, and
Right,
slowed yourself down by a half point. Let's take a look at we see what happens here. There's Austin Mai and Brian Escalante. This was out of a Scotch game.
Oh, yeah, looks like black is fine here.
It's a game.
Put that bishop on the long diagonal, I guess.
And board 3. FIDE Master Max Gedajlovic against International Master Josiah Stearman.
And these players both have 4, right?
Yes.
So Max Gedajlovic, did he lose to somebody, or has he had 2 draws?
That's a good question. Let me look here. Gedajlovic, he lost to Gadir.
He lost to Gadir.
Okay.
Round 3.
It's almost like a cliche, right? You know. That's right. Round 3, he lost to Gadir. Yeah.
Well, Josiah's out for blood after the last game.
Yeah, I like Black's game here, I think. But of course, you know, it's double-edged, right?
Yeah, black's king looks a little safer. That
Yeah.
knight heads d6 or something.
Yeah. Knight f6, g4. Who knows?
And then here we have teammates from the U.S. Amateur West now at war with each other. This is Chelsea Zhu against Jonah Bush.
Benko Gambit.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know this variation. The Benko Gambit is not played anymore at the higher levels, but gosh, has it been refuted, Nick?
I think the computers are, they do better against the Gambit than the humans did.
Right, but that's yeah.
Let's go back to our board.
How often did you play Benko back in the day, Nick?
Oh, only long ago, before I was a Grandmaster. I played him once or twice. He was getting old, and we made it a couple draws or something. Oh,
So
I'm
Kyron is still
thinking.
thinking, yeah.
What are the options here? Like, what's he?
Maybe Queen D3, and if takes Queen C4 on the C6 pawn.
Yeah, that's very active. Queen D3.
It's a weird looking move somehow. But I think White has to find a way in here involving F4.
that remaining donkey that Gadir has is a good piece.
Yeah, this could be the fact that Gajir still has one of his donkeys on the board could be the deciding factor here. Now, what do you think of that chess analysis, Elliot?
As he's playing his game.
Right. Well, it's the donkey. Yeah, he's not here to answer me, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah. It's best when they can't fight back, right?
Well, Alexei told him to go play. Taking his orders.
So what are the other four pointers? Escalante must have four,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's got 4. He's playing Austin Mai. That was the Benko Gambit game.
Ah, that's right. What about Tarzan?
And
Tarjan.
yeah, yeah. Let me pull that up. It didn't come up actually. Let's see. Tirantes.
I think Alexi's on my side with the getting rid of Gajir's knights. I think she's finally come around to realizing how important that is if you want a chance in this tournament.
Let's see. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Jim Tarjan against Vedant Tallwalker.
And these players have 4 too, or
Does Vedant? No, Vedant's got 3.5. They both have 3.5.
they both have 3.5.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because Tarjan lost to Gadir and then drew Walder.
right. How do you play these positions, Nick? I mean, these are always one of the hardest positions to play in chess. These blocked in the middle, F4, F5, which, after the knight goes to D4, how to trade it, and just, they're tough. Both players can play for A3 and B4, A6 and B5, and F4, and...
Well, Tarzan likes this Botvinnik setup, so he's got a lot of experience in it.
Right. And it's funny that Black played E5 instead of Knight D4, right? I mean, isn't Knight D4 the move there?
Yeah, but E5 is logical to get better grip on the center.
Yeah. Interesting. And Black can still play Knight C7, E6.
Yeah.
Or F5. Okay. All right.
Tarzan's thinking whether he goes F4 right now, but probably met by F5.
So,
And Lex is saying in the chat, Gadir cannot easily castle, so Kyron should keep light squared bishops on. Is that right? And this is going back to this position here on board 1. Oh wow! Look at this. Moves have been played.
and once you learn the Botvinnik system for White, you learn it for Black as well, right?
Yes.
So Knight A4, Queen B7, and then what?
Well, let's see. There's also B5 or something like pawn takes B5, queen to D5. But
And Christian Clemens is saying he's taking notes. Learning this opening for White is one of his spring projects. Christian Clemens.
Yeah, b4 was a good move, I think. This is what White has to do is something like this.
But I do like those black pawns in the center. I mean, they take squares. You've got your work cut out for you to clear away.
Yeah. Still, I mean, White's in for a penny. He's got to be in for a pound, right? So White has to find some kind of sacrificial continuation. It's forced.
Well, let's now if you would trade the bishops, do pawn to f4. I guess you'd probably go. Black would go. E pawn takes f4, and yeah, but I mean, it's hard to get to that black king.
So what happens if you play b5?
Right
Oh.
now?
Well, he took the bishop at a6. So what's the follow-up? F4? He plays b5.
Okay, so he's going to get a nice knight at d5.
Oh, yeah. Then that's 2 pawns, yeah.
As Paul said, in for a penny in for a pound.
Yeah.
Well, it's the whole, it's the whole way that White's been conducting himself so far. This is just, he has to do something like this.
Doing a quick check on Josiah Stearman's game.
Well, that pawn on h5 seems pure for now. Holding back the black forces.
What's the right plan for Black here? It's Black's move.
Like,
You get the queen off the diagonal. I mean, off the file.
or you go knight e4 and then g5.
Well, yeah, 94.
Oh no, because you take en passant with check and.
94's got something to be said for it. I mean, for one thing, it's a check, right?
You're halfway to mate, right? If you can get a check in. And let me go back to board 1 real quick because we have some moves here.
Yeah, this is an epic battle on board 1.
Queen g5, rook c8.
Queen d5 was a little.
And look at Gadzir's only used a few minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, he's an excellent defender. Queen c6 now? No, maybe.
Why not? You have a better endgame.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be worse after Queen c? I guess some.
Queen e6, maybe.
Oh, that would be a move. Very nice. You've got to keep those queens on.
Okay, we're gonna get it, and then maybe Queen g7 after Queen e6.
Well, then you'd have a move like knight d6 check, knight takes d6, rook takes d6.
And maybe that's too much.
Oh, wow.
Well, 96 here.
Yeah, 96. I like it.
Takes a pawn.
Destroys the black pawn center.
Yeah, maybe a little better ending for
white. For white?
Yes, for white. It's
Wow.
now rook takes d6, queen takes d6 is not as good, I think.
Because Gadir gets to keep his knight. Knight d6 is a lovely move.
Well, it's an ending with perhaps just a little better for white after knight d6.
Knight d6, rook d6, queen e6, rook takes c2, and then what? Take on e5, and then black castles on the king's side finally.
And you play f3, they take on a2, you take
Right.
on e7.
And they're going to draw, maybe.
Probably a draw.
Yeah.
And Gadir wouldn't mind that, right?
And it didn't cost Gadir much in sweat. Okay.
Yeah.
Here he does it.
There's not anything unknown here. It's not some surprise. No. Straight up.
He plays so instantly, Gadir just, and I expect he'll pass it to be safe.
Maybe, yeah, castles. I like. That is hilarious.
Yeah, F3. You have to do F3, right?
What do you think? F3 or rook? Yeah, okay. Rook A2, rook E7, or is Gadir going to play something else here? I think rook A2 looks forced.
Yeah, this is
And now get the rook off the 7th rank, and
so.
black has a microscopic advantage.
Well, keep the two rooks on. And white.
This is where I fear the Grandmaster the most. Here is the very position
And
that
they've drawn. They've agreed to a draw.
Okay. Yeah.
So the $64,000 Fisher Prize will not be won by Gadir. It also does not exist at the Mechanics Institute.
I was going to say
was a
that was
good
nice of you
game.
to offer it, Abel.
We would take it back. Take the draw for back.
That was a good game, I think, and a good example of preparation, being well prepared.
Yeah, that was sharp, especially it could have gone where Gadir could have gone wrong and paid the price, but fun to see. I mean, these guys are completely prepped, and then it shows. So here we are, International Master Brian Escalante and Austin Mai. So Kyron with 5 points now, 5 out of 6. Gadir 5.5.
Also, Kyron still has chances to win the tournament.
Yeah.
2 more rounds to go.
2 more rounds. And another player that probably the next best hope to really slow down Gadir is Josiah Stearman. Here he is with black. How does he look here?
Well, he's been thinking for a while.
Yeah. You want to check on Winslow? And
Yes.
Alexi's saying, trying to decide if D4 pawn. Oh, that's in the Escalante game. Let's take a look at Winslow Walder.
Oh. Elliot's like a chameleon. He can play all these different kinds of positions.
That was a big win in the last round for him.
I think black looks like he's okay here.
Yes. Maybe for once they'll have a quiet game between them.
Hey guys, check this position out. This is Arthur Liu against, I believe it's Sanjeev Anand. Oh, let me flip the board, sorry. This game is developed quite rapidly. This is almost on move 40 already.
Well, that e-pawn needs to be stopped.
Yeah, rook e3 looks like the right move here, the only move.
And then knight d4.
Well, I guess you can go rook d3 check first.
Maybe not much difference.
Actually, maybe you can't. Oh yeah, I guess you could. Barely. Knight d4, rook d4 check, king e5, rook d7. And then what, rook e8?
Let's not give knight.
Yeah.
Players playing quick.
Mutual Zhutzwang. Or maybe black is winning here. Rook f8 and rook f1. I guess white can play bishop a6. Maybe rook g8 check first. Rook g8 check and then rook f1. I mean rook f8, rook g8 check, king h2, rook f8.
King back to g2. So
rook f1
would allow rook takes c2.
Yes.
King on g2.
Yeah.
So maybe black can't make any progress. That c6 pawn is enough trouble.
Wait a minute. Rook g8 check, king h2, knight f3 check.
Oh?
And this is Pranav Satish against Arthur Liu. Pranav Satish.
So rook g8 check, we're going king to f2.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Nick, play king h2.
Let's check back on board 2 with Escalante and Austin Mai.
So Alexei was asking if that pawn on d4 was weak or strong.
Well, white's lost a piece.
That's no fair. You're counting pieces.
But he's got a rook. He got a rook for it.
Yeah. He's lost a piece, but he's a rook. Wait a minute. Okay, so white's up the exchange. Chess is confusing here.
Chess is hard.
So black has the two bishops and nebulous attacking chances.
Yeah, it doesn't look like enough compensation.
Unless you're tall or, something. Yeah, it's not enough.
So John Hartman of U.S. Chess gets this win here against
Oh,
Ian Lau. Congrats to him. And Nathan Fong also gets a very convincing win, especially with that fork in his game.
Oh, yeah.
So congrats to both of them. Let's check on Jim Tarjan and Server Busy. And Server Busy, Vedant Talwalker, is a player that gave Brian Escalante a run for his money in the first round.
Well, unless Black can land some cheap shot, he's probably losing.
got a lot of isolated pawns there.
Yeah.
3 to be exact.
Yeah.
All right. And Stearman still thinking, still has not moved yet from his position. Let's go back to board 2.
Well, this is just, let's take a look at Stearman's game again because,
He just made a move,
oh yeah, okay.
and he went bishop d6.
Well, he had made a move. He had moved his queen back to b8.
Right, right.
And then the rook went to g1, white rook
Correct.
went to g1, and now bishop d6. So as usual, Josiah is looking for some chance to sacrifice something here. Also, maybe he's going to play knight e7 and g6 or something.
Yes, he needs to make a break somehow, but where? On to g6. Well, that.
And white's running with the king.
Just getting out of the way.
Yeah. And so black has things like bishop f4, maybe, if not good, probably, but that's the kind of thinking that black is maybe trying to think here.
Yeah, it's hard to see a really good break. There's possible breaks, but that's why he's been thinking so long. That knight on c6 makes some journey to a useful spot.
And Josiah probably feeling like he needs to make up some ground, especially after losing the last round.
Yeah, he's got to be careful he doesn't lose this game for being overambitious.
It's hard to find the right plan. Maybe move the knight to c4, knight d7, knight b6, knight c4. Of course, then you have to watch out for sacrifices on d5, maybe. So now black's got a5, and there's still that knight d7, b6 idea.
Probably a good move because you can't win just on the king side. So.
Yeah, b5 is a good move for sure. At least that opened the possibility of a5 as well, and increases the range of black's queen.
But we're looking for Josiah, but Max also gets to try things. Maybe like rook g5, queen g2, triple on the the G line. Look for sacrifices on d5.
Yep.
Could have a bit of fun too.
Fun.
Fun at chess.
Interesting position.
Let's take a look at this game real quick between David Rakonitz against Nicholas Wang.
David Rakonich has been playing well in this tournament.
Yeah, now he's got his test right here. And he's playing black.
His favorite French defense.
Oh, is he a French player?
Yes.
No, so far it's you know, a little difficult to tell. I mean, you know, I'm always a fan of White's potential in these kind of positions to run up pawn to G4 at some point.
Let's go back to the Stearman game.
But it's not clear that that's easy to do.
And Kyron's in the chat. All the pieces on the board are bad right now. Which game? This one or the one before that?
So, I mean, black is, you know, if white's not, well, white has to be a little careful that A5 doesn't come at some moment where, you know, or you're sacking a piece on F4 or B4 and white's leading off with the queen with queen G2, probably not the right move.
What happens on knight takes G5 now? Looking for a fork.
All right, so let's say I take it.
With the pawn, bishop takes pawn check on D5.
And I trade again.
And the queen takes.
And then after you take my knight on C6, I have bishop takes B4. No, I don't know what I have. Bishop takes F4. You're right.
I think that wins a pawn for white. You know, you look at the white pieces; they're all on nice squares. I think
they're at their maximum potential. So knight D5, what a shot!
I mean, to try knight takes D4 as a counter, but yeah, maybe knight takes D5, knight takes D4. Any follow-up there? Because you're threatening knight takes F3 check. So, all right, pawn takes D4, pawn takes D5, bishop takes D5, check. Still a bit better for white.
Yeah, especially since the bishop could, yeah. And he plays it.
Played.
Oh my.
It's possible that Stearman overlooked it or was thinking more about his own chances like I was when I was watching it.
Yes, he wants to win after the last game, and he's only thinking about how he can win, not things that could happen to him.
And bishop takes b4. I had the fleeting thought that it was check, but it's not, of course, at the end of all that. So with the white queen on c6, I think Stearman overlooked this. It's a strong-looking move. These FIDE masters from Canada, you got to watch out for these guys. So here's an idea, Nick. After queen takes d5 check, rook to e6, queen takes c6, and then maybe bishop takes f4?
Well, okay, you're going knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes.
I'm going rook e6.
Yeah. Bishop to And then we go queen to, yeah, we're a pawn ahead from queen to d7 check.
And Christian Clemens is saying knight xd5, knight xd4, exd4, knight xd5, bishop xd5, exd5, queen xd5 check, king e7, queen b7 check, and then take on a6.
My man Christian helping me out, trying to make my line work well. Looks good.
Queen takes c6. Bishop f4, queen d7 check. I can't go rook e7 because of queen f5 check. Yeah.
No, it's white's just better.
No. Wow. What a move. And the game just took this spectacular, and all along Nick was seeing things for white, and I was taking Josiah's side somehow and thinking that
after his last defeat, you feel sympathy for him. But yes,
but in chess there's no sympathy allowed.
No.
No crying in chess, no sympathy in chess. Nothing.
Okay, so after bishop takes d5 check, the king has no safe square. I mean, if you go to e7 after bishop c6, then if you take on h5, white's got queen g7 at the end of that. So that's nasty.
Well, we're going to see how Houdini Josiah gets out of this. Now it's a little easier for him. He's in trouble. He has to think of something. It's
Yeah, he's under 10 minutes now.
Sympathy for the chess monster 666.
The stones.
Black's missing his light squared bishop now, right about now.
Well, that's one thing. That knight move, it opens the game, so the bishops are worthwhile. You had suggested 94 earlier to keep it all locked.
And here we go. Oh!
He plays knight d4. So if e4, queen d5 check, rook e6 check, and black gets a move.
Yes, but then just king d1, your pawn down, f5 is hanging, your rook is pinned. It's nice for white.
What a dramatic game. I mean, this is not easy stuff here.
I like Max is very confident. Look, he just makes those moves. He doesn't sit and ponder.
Right. And he's an unknown factor for us.
I think that's why we weren't looking at it from his perspective, I guess. Cause
As well. And also, he's Canadians are notoriously underrated. At least they used to be back in my day. Look, the time difference is huge.
Oh, okay. Josiah says, take my f-pawn.
How about rook g6 for
Oh, I
white?
like it.
What?
I like it.
Black could take and play king up to f6.
Yeah, maybe rook h5 or something.
Or bishop e1. I don't know. Josiah has been playing by the seat of his pants, you know, a lot of the time. Sometimes that catches up to you. Rook g5 is a simple, strong move too.
Oh, take a second pawn. Yes.
Rook g5, rook g6. It does look like Josiah is losing to me.
Oh, yes. Maybe he's losing. Doesn't mean he's going to go down.
And Alan Finkelstein, yeah, he was asking, is Josiah lost? And Alan won his game in the 6th round.
Could we check in on David Rockinett?
Yeah, let's see what he's
And
up
Elliot, Michael Walder.
to. And here it is. David Rackinett's playing black.
Oh, this is going kind of ideal for black, isn't it?
Oh, boy, if you could get that bishop e8, h5. You know, White's bishop on g1 isn't much of a piece.
Yeah, I liked White's idea of pushing pawn to g4, but he needed to try to take back with the pawn at g4 rather than the bishop, I think. Unless he's going to get some serious play down the g file. This doesn't hang together very well. But, I mean, I guess White can bail by playing bishop f5 and go into a worse ending. Maybe even a lost ending, right?
That's yeah, unpleasant for White.
Yeah, I mean, Black can play a5 here, fix that pawn on a4 too. This is looking not good.
Let's go back to Josiah's game, just because seems like we've had some developing moves here.
G5, it's just so simple. Black is desperate for counterplay. I mean, rook g1, just bring the last thing into the game here.
Now that would be a harsh move.
Bishop f8, forced. Rook g6, rook f5 check. And then rook g6. Ugh.
And V Chess Masters in the chat saying R.I.P. I think that's Vedant, who just lost to Jim Tarzan. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
How
look
did that turn around so fast?
Well, Tarzan had that big positional edge and probably yikes.
And
There goes the queen.
let's go on board 2 for
Mangled.
Brian Escalante.
Sorry, V Chess Master.
But good game. Got a Grandmaster game.
Yeah. It was always my favorite thing to do was to play a Grandmaster. I love the challenge of it. The fact that no way were they playing for a draw, you know, made it especially exciting.
Yes.
You know, they wanted to stomp you, and you could sometimes turn that to your advantage if you were wily enough.
And Alexei is excited to see Brian Escalante not just a pawn up, but a passed pawn up.
Yeah, this must be winning for white, or very, close to it. Technically.
Yeah, looks like Brian will bounce back. Still, and he'll only be half a point behind with 2 rounds to go.
A quick check-in on Elliott, and Mike Walder has offered a draw here.
Can you believe that?
The nerve.
Well,
Well, I mean, I like White's game a little bit better, but he's got more space.
but those light squared bishops are coming off. So.
But Elliott at 4 points. He would love to get to 5.
Yeah, and Elliott's got 4 minutes, so.
Well, that's not good.
And he's your roommate.
So
he's your ride home.
And back to Stearman's game. Max thinking about what's the continuation here.
yeah, that rook g1 doubling just wow looks.
Because on bishop f8, then you can take on f5 and then play rook g6.
And he does it. Oh boy. All right, but Josiah, he's instantly replies.
Yeah, immediately replies. And
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Kyron.
Hey, Kyron.
Thanks for joining us. What do you think of this this mess right here?
Haven't even looked, but let's take a look. Oh yeah, this is the one where White took on d5 and is now pawn up, and with a big attack. That looks really bad for Josiah.
Yeah.
And do you know this player? Are you familiar with him?
I think I've heard his name, but I haven't played him. So no.
Yeah, his only loss has been to Gadir. So.
Well, it's cool to see the tournament getting more strong players from all over.
And nice game. That was some entertainment. Completely prepped, I'm sure.
No. I was actually losing against Kadir. If you look at the analysis, I was actually according to the engine -2 or -3. But
oh wow.
It's very tricky for Black to play, I guess. I didn't realize I was that much worse.
What, at the very end?
No, I mean not the rook end game, but
Right.
Before he traded the queens, he can instead of trading the queens, he can just play king f8 and I'm just down 2 pawns pretty much.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's obviously preparation. So what? I mean, this pawn sacrifice, but then it quickly went Black's way.
Yeah, the pawn sacrifice is theory, but I incorrectly traded off the light squared bishops, which I think was really actually pretty bad for me. Because
Alexi said you shouldn't do that. So
Should you have played b5?
Alexi knows, yeah.
So maybe b5 was better? Or
I think just bishop b3 actually. Yeah.
I think Brian Escalante's got this one.
It's just a matter of time, yeah.
Close to it,
Yeah, it's the Black's gonna not be able to stop that c pawn, I don't think.
So what about rook g6 here?
Probably strong. Yeah, I think Max is probably just looking for a forced win if he can find it.
And then rook e5, threatening rook e5. Rook g6 threatens rook e5 big time. And actually, black could fall into a beautiful mate, right? Rook takes g6 and king h8, trying to get out of the pin. Rook h5 and rook h8 check, and queen h5 and queen h7 mate.
That's a nice one. Yeah, absolutely, that could happen.
All right, now I can go home. Wait a minute, I am home.
I think after rook g6, yeah, nice move. Maybe king h8 here is what Josiah will play. Or does that lose? It loses a piece, yeah.
Yeah, lose a piece on f8, so yikes.
Yeah, that's a good move. I don't know what black does.
Wow, this has been a powerful game by
yeah, Max.
Queen c4 maybe? Queen c4. I'm trying to find a way to hold on.
Yeah, did 2 pawns down. That's the best you can do there. 2 pawn down endgame.
Yeah, queen c4 is a good try. Trying to find a knockout, but not sure if there is one.
Rook fa, king fa, queen d8. And then queen d7, no.
And I was just looking up Max.
No.
He's young. He's young. He's like 19 years old. And he goes by Max the Axe Gedajlovic.
Nice, nice moniker.
That doesn't sound good for you guys.
Yeah, maybe rook h5 here.
Yeah, that looks like it's a knockout here.
Threatening f5 and also rook h8.
And if queen c4 again?
Paul's always finding these moves.
Queen a8, bishop a.
Oh,
F8.
yeah, queen a8. Oh.
Paul doesn't find the moves in the arena, but he finds them during the broadcast, which is...
Right. Yeah, the pressure's not on, so it's easier for me.
But yeah, I think rook h5 should just do it.
So Max the Axe.
Max the Axe. That's what it says.
Yeah, nice game. Are there any other top boards still playing?
Yeah, Escalante is slowly trying to push around Austin Mai. That was this game.
Queen h1 here, rook takes g6. Somebody's saying...
And we'll take a quick look at David Rakonitz's game.
How about Tarzan? Oh, Tarzan won.
He won, yeah.
Oh, b5 is interesting. Black just wants to play a6 and get this barrier, and that's why white plays it himself. Now the b5 pawn can be strong or it can be a liability.
This would be a huge win for David.
But I think, why can't we just take on h4? I guess...
That's what I was just looking at.
I guess there's like a bishop takes e6 at the end or something.
But
no,
then
because it's bishop e4 check, so...
And also the f4 is hanging.
Yeah, it's just a free pawn.
And he does it. So takes, and rook...
And now, yeah, black's threatening to come into h2. Can always just play rook b8 if he needs.
Yeah, white opened up the king side with g4 and now is getting punished for it, I suppose.
Okay, so he's
Although that's a nice counter attacking move.
I like bishop e8 a lot. Because
Yeah.
now we have g5 coming.
Yeah.
That's a nice move.
He has to go king g3, get out of the pin.
now rook h8 probably.
I mean, it's a pawn.
Yeah, I think you just go rook h8, and we don't really care about f5. We can just play rook h2 anyway, and just invade.
The only thing that's worrisome is David's time.
Yeah, rook h6 is the start of maybe something wrong.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be passive in this kind of endgame. I think it's pretty critical to try to get your rooks into the enemy's camp.
And Nicholas Wang earlier on declined to draw. So even knowing he's a little bit worse, declined to draw.
So what should white do? Rook b1 or rook b5?
I like that. That's active.
Shouldn't work, but yeah, it's an idea.
That's right up your alley, Kyron.
Some cheapo try.
I think that one black just plays rook d8 though, and then there's nothing pretty quickly.
No big upsets yet, Mike Walder.
Yeah, maybe Elliot's move rook a2 and just try to prevent black from infiltrating.
So the fact that we have both Mike and Elliot in the chat, does that mean they drew?
Yes.
Yeah,
they did draw.
They drew.
They drew.
Okay.
They drew a while ago, and Max gets the win against Josiah Stearman. This is the final position here.
This was not Josiah's day.
Yeah, it seemed like it sort of snowballed after the round 5 loss.
Yeah, I think he just missed that knight d5 shot, it just looks like it's winning. It's hard to get any counterplay in that kind of position.
Nick was very astute in calling the points of that position throughout. It was interesting. Black should have probably played knight e4 and bottled up white's play a bit over there. And after that, I overestimated Josiah's chances, and Nick kept pointing out some of the possibilities for white there. It's interesting how that played out.
So it looks like white's going to go for this, well, maybe he's bluffing, but he may try to take on b5. But I think that if white does, black can just play rook d8 and rook b7 checks met by rook d7, and I think white's counterplay is very short-lived.
Well, something like rook to h8, rook takes b5, bishop takes b5, rook takes b5, rook d8, rook b7 check, rook d7, pawn to f5.
I mean, you can even take the rook at that point, right, and then play rook back to h8.
Actually, that position it works. Yes. First, white would have to on rook d7 play rook to b8, pairing f5. I mean, it's certainly better for black, but it's at least an active plan for white.
And
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Kyron, we got two of your former teammates playing each other here. Just wanted to look at that game real quick. This is
nice.
Chelsea against Jonah. Your teammates from the Amateur West.
Indeed, and Tarjan's in this tournament too, so our whole whole team's here.
And David Rakonitz drew with Nicholas Wang.
Oh, whoa.
In that
Interesting.
game.
Oh.
This is the final position.
So Nicholas offered a draw, I guess?
Well, David kept offering it and he kept declining it, but I think in this position he finally accepted it. And Nicholas says that in the chat saying he played bad. But yeah, I mean,
It's still not clear what's going on here exactly, but it looks like Black's got most of the chances, I suppose.
And then
So
back to Jonah's game here.
David's taking it cautiously. What about this? Black is going on the F2 attack here.
Yeah, the two pieces here are very well placed for Black. Maybe the knight could improve a little bit, but yeah, I think the rook and two pawns versus the two pieces is technically one point better for white, but I think the activity here is way more than enough, and Black is probably better.
Looks like he's looking to get to e4 maybe.
Oh yeah.
Rook E1 maybe, but then Queen F3.
Yeah, Queen F3 with Knight G4 coming looks pretty scary.
This is like that. What was it? The Spassky Tall game, that famous game. Except for Black had two bishops
Against a rook, yes.
against a rook, and it somewhat reminds me of this for some reason.
Rook E2 makes sense, stopping Knight E4, and now I think Queen F3 makes the most sense.
Something like I would play H6 so I don't get mated on the back rank.
H5.
H5 is a little risky here, huh?
Oh well, okay.
Well, it's defended by the knight, so I don't think it's
Right,
tremendously
yeah.
risky.
I just
Yeah, but
think that it.
Queen F5 now, and it's hard to move your knight.
I think
true.
that's what I meant in some obscure way.
Yeah, and Chelsea finds it. Great move. It's not always easy to move into a discovery when you have a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Nick, I like your H6 move. You can always play H5 later.
I'm getting better and better at these cowardly moves. You know, 'cause what can the guy do to me?
And Eric Lee is trying to win this game against Pranav Sarum.
Well,
I don't think he'll be able to do it.
He's trying to do it.
yeah, no,
The
this is
the
gonna
problem
be
is,
a draw.
yeah, even if Black wins the pawn, White will always step with opposition, and then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, White actually lost the pawn, but it's still a draw. But now it's
In
okay.
theory,
I think White will just
Yeah.
set up the Philidor position with the rook on the third rank.
although my guess is Pranav knows this, but
Every Russian schoolboy. This is the classic every Russian schoolboy position, right?
well, let's see here.
You can make a blockade on the fourth rank if you want. I think White's still playing for a win. And Black
Yeah.
takes the third rank.
It's a good practical chance, but the problem is the fourth rank now. Black's never going to advance the king past the fourth rank without pushing the pawn.
Right.
When I have this, I just take the third rank immediately, and I just don't even mess around. Just keep the rook on the third rank, put the king in front of the pawn, and
I think
Look, he gives him a chance.
I think what
Black could have played D4 there.
I think what
Well, then I guess the rook goes down to the back rank.
I think Eric is blitzing out moves, trying to take advantage of Pranav's low time.
Sure. That's so dastardly of him.
Yeah, like where's the honor in that?
Paul, weren't you talking about how you hung your queen on purpose to try to win someone's queen?
Yes,
We were
I
talking
did.
about honor.
First time I'd ever tried it, and it worked.
Look at
I was
this.
so ashamed of myself.
Ooh,
Oh,
he
Wow,
broke
Black
through.
is getting in here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rook F2 is just. Oh, sorry. Queen H1 and then Rook E8.
and Jonah Bush
Enough.
gets it done.
Nice.
And Chelsea was the first one to say good game. So
It's
a nice win.
sportsmanship.
Nice win by
nice
yeah,
win there.
good sportsmanship. It was good to see.
And we do have a draw in Eric Lee's game. So this is sort of the big game that's still out. Brian Escalante and Austin Mai.
Austin's done a good job defending this. I think we all thought it'd be a little bit easier for white than this, but now with the king near the pawn, it's not so easy.
Well, it looks like black's losing a pawn, right, at a6.
Yeah. White will certainly still be winning, but maybe black goes rook e7 and then rook a7 and tries to get back the a3 pawn.
Yeah. Hmm.
And they're both down to 20, 30 seconds, so this this is not an easy conversion for white with that kind of time.
And Austin can play pretty quick. That's the other scary. Like, he's perfectly fine.
All right, white goes for the pawn. And black decides to do it this way.
Oh. How can
Yeah,
this
I
be good?
don't know
Two
about
pawns
this.
down.
No,
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, but I mean, if rook a7, c7 check, right? I mean, that's
And rook takes c7.
But then rook takes c7, king c7. Isn't that just a winning endgame with the outside pass pawn?
Oh, rook a7, bishop d3, and you can't take on a3 because of.
I mean, even if black got the c pawn, the bishop versus knight endgame must be a win for white.
Oh, but there could be tricks left. That donkey.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
tricks.
True, the donkey is.
Now there's not really many tricks after c7, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess white will play rook b7 first. Yeah, that should do it.
That's it. Yeah. Nice win by Brian there.
Nice technique from white, actually. There was a few times he could have queened, but this was by far the cleanest.
Yes.
Alexi's very happy right now on Brian Escalante's win.
Oh, here we go with one of these end games.
Black is on the outside looking in there on this one. And this may be the final game. No, there's another one.
Oh, not pawn to b6.
Yeah, great trap. Actually, brilliant. Is this some kind of Zugzwang for white here?
You can just go rook h7, and black can't take the pawn.
Mm. Spoil sport, Kyron.
Or rook f7.
That kind of does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, white should convert this pretty easily. Oh, and does it by time.
Nice win. And I think all the games are finished. All the games are finished in the round. And we should have the updated standings in a few minutes. Hey,
So Kyron, your game.
Yeah,
what were your games from the previous round? You won a really nice game against somebody. I'm trying to remember the game.
I played Josiah,
Stearman.
and
that's right.
And then played Gadir.
Yeah.
Hey, so
I was losing in both games, actually.
until you won the previous
Yeah.
round. So you just came back from Charlotte. You'd done the Norm tournament. Didn't work out this time around, but how was that? How was that experience? And because it seems
it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my second one. I did one in January too, and they're kind of doing these consistently every 2 months, so I may even go back in May, to be decided. But
Nice.
it's it's really well run. It feels very safe, and competition strong. This time nobody got a norm in any section, so it was a pretty evenly matched field.
We are hopeful that sometime soon this year you'll be able to be a little closer doing one of those events.
And demand an exorbitant fee for playing.
You can do it because I have to pay a flight and hotel to go to Charlotte, so I'd be
That's
willing
right,
to pay an exorbitant amount for a norm tournament.
Actually, you and a lot of other people that email us that are of norm quality. So we are
When's the next
working on that.
Bay Area norm tournaments?
Well, we are working on that. So
Nice.
We can't officially say too much, but
Hey, so Kyron, do you know have any connections to this event coming up in San Francisco in September? The Magnus Carlsen extravaganza, the finals to the Magnus Carlsen Invitational taking place in San Francisco.
No, I didn't even know that was a thing. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so we know Wesley So and Rajabov and Jury will also be here. So that's just for starters, right? Because they won they've won some of the legs of this tournament.
Oh, it's because Meltwater
won any.
headquarters is here. Wow.
And that is the current scores right there. Gadir at 5.5, Brian Escalante, Kyron Griffith, and Max the Axe Gedajlovic at 5. Jim Tarzan, Eric Lee, Elliott, Mike Walder, a lot of people. Pranav Sairam, Alan Finkelstein, Daniel Lynn, Jonah Bush at 4.5.
Wow.
And
congratulations.
The pairings are going to be weird because Gadir has to play a full point down because he's played everyone in the 5.0s.
That's crazy. That's right.
And he's played Tarjan the top.
And actually, I was saying earlier that a match I would be interested in just for styles would be Eric Lee and Gadir.
It looks like it's going to be Eric because he's the highest player who hasn't played him yet.
Yeah, so that could be pretty interesting.
And that's the game that you wanted to see.
Yeah, just Eric has his his flaws sometimes, but the guy can see things sometimes, and he's hungry and he preps like crazy. So, I would love to see that. So, and then we'll have 2 chances to see it, but it looks like we're gonna see it in round 7 anyway. But Kyron,
got to hand it to Gadir. He's going through everybody but you, Kyron.
Well, he's beaten me enough times, so I'm happy to just take a draw this time.
Give it back a little bit. Kyron, thanks for hanging out with us and help us call the action on Tuesday, and we look forward to seeing you next week for the final 2 rounds.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And sorry, Judith, I was slow to respond to my text. But,
yeah, she's persistent. It's like, hey, check your phone, check your email, check your physical mail. All right, everyone. So thank you for joining us. Thanks, Paul and Nick. And let's see who we can raid and show some love.
See you next week.
Chess Dojo raided us during the arena, which was very cool. Who else can we throw some support? But they have to be playing chess. They can't be doing some other activity.
Oh, yeah.
We've made that mistake once before. And then we had people saying, hey, what is this?
Right.
Well, you know what? Let's give it back to Chess Dojo because they're up right now. It's them or St. Louis, but David Pruis is on, and we love David Pruis, good friend of ours. So, all right, everyone, have a good evening and enjoy David Pruis and the Chess Dojo. Have a good night. See you next week.